Welcome to In the Community with Tiffany K.
And we're back with another In the Community. I'm Tiffany K. And today I have Sarah Beth Rodrigues, who is the vice chair and event coordinator with Cooking Autism, a nonprofit I don't know much about, but I'm excited to learn, as well as I know our listeners will be excited. So, Sarah, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Thank you so much for being on with me today. It's very intriguing, the name of your nonprofit, and I'm excited to get to know more about it. So, you know what? Let's just dive in if you're ready.
Yes, absolutely. Cooking Autism, as you had said, we're a nonprofit organization. We specifically dedicate our time to providing support in our community for children with special abilities. We do also provide grants and scholarships to educators who work directly with students. They provide life and cooking skills in the educational setting, but we've recently expanded to churches, educational centers, homeschools, kind of any setting. We're super proud of all the work that they've done, and pretty much any age and any ability. It doesn't really, stop at just autism for disabilities. We've kind of grown to work with the neurodiverse community.
I love that. And do you have a specific mission statement that you guys follow?
Yes, yeah. So we specifically fund the development programs for those life and cooking skills. We started with children on the autism spectrum, hence our name, Cooking Autism. And then we've kind of grown to have those culinary classes in any setting, and we envision a future where these classes are offered in every school throughout the country. Right now we're in 5 different states. So we started in Virginia, kind of the Rappahannock area, and we've grown to 5 other states, which is super exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, we're very happy about that. We believe that the confidence that these children or adults gain can hopefully acquire greater opportunities later in life for them.
And it's kind of funny you're talking about, like, not funny but interesting, you're talking about cooking classes. I feel like everyone could use those. I don't think it's just in general. Like, I never learned it growing up, so I love that you have something though that's very specific.
Thank you. Yeah, we just love doing it as well. Cooking, like you said, cooking is fun and engaging, and so it's a great way to learn multiple skills. So that's kind of our main mission. Yeah.
So how did Cooking Autism begin?
So it began 2017, 2018. Morgan and April Birch. They have 2 sons on the autism spectrum, and they kind of saw how this was impactful in their community. Their teachers at Conway Elementary in Stafford were cooking with them in the school setting.
Oh.
And but they were spending their own money. And
Okay.
So they won a car from Pohanka Nissan, and then they asked Tim Pohanka, they said, hey, we don't really need a car. Can you donate some money? And Tim, in return said sure, and gave them $5,000 to start their program.
Oh, wow. I love the local connection.
Yeah, it's great. They are no longer on the board, but since then we've kind of circulated through the board and grown. We have 8 people on the board currently, and it's just amazing what they've started, and we're super, super thankful that they did. So
that's amazing. And, just the idea of where it comes from, you always hear these stories of how it's so personal and it affects an entire community. And then right away got local involvement already from Tim Pohanka.
Right. No, absolutely. I think it's great that they've got, that involvement there for sure.
So what are the goals and the inspirations behind that? We know, of course, the original couple with their kids who both were on the autism spectrum. What are the goals now of Cooking Autism?
So our goals are we want to increase that reach, like I had mentioned, and we started with grants, but now we also provide scholarships for future educators, so paraprofessionals that are working in the special education setting, or maybe a teacher that wants to now become a special educator, and so that's kind of a branch off of our mission as well, because we know that this area, well, in areas in general, are struggling with teachers, special education. So that is something that we also provide as a part of our goal and our mission. And we also go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, so you serve not only those who do have autism and with Cooking Autism, but also those who are trying to help those with autism.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, and our continuing on that goal, a lot of our grants are provided with, not only special educators, but I'm a speech pathologist in the school, so this is my I'm on the board, but I've also received a grant for 5 years. So
Oh,
I
wow.
also cook in the school setting. So it's kind of, a range. We really want anybody to be and everybody to be involved in this program. So,
And, before we jump into the grants and the scholarships, tell me about your personal connection with it and kind of what it means to you to be a part of Cooking Autism.
yeah. So in 2018, April and Morgan started providing their first round of grants. I was working at Park Ridge Elementary School in Stafford, and I was also spending my own money. Excuse me. And my assistant principal at the time had said, "Hey, Sarah Beth, there's a local nonprofit that just started. You should apply." So I went ahead and applied. I was one of the, first round of grants. I cooked there for 3 years and became a board member. And then April and Morgan stepped down. And then this is my second year in the vice chair event coordinator role. And then I've continued to cook. I now work at King George Elementary, and I cook with 37 students.
Oh, wow.
So it's very near and dear to my heart as well. It's a huge passion of mine to give back to those kids and the adults. I work through kindergarten through fifth grade currently. So
That's amazing. And thank you so much for being a teacher. I know it's not easy. And as you point out, many teachers, unfortunately, use their own money to provide different
yes,
resources.
yeah, no, it's my pleasure. I love it.
And so, can you tell me a little bit about what a normal session of Cooking Autism is like? What's it like to be able to interact with the kids? What happens there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's so many skills to work on, which is what I love about it being in the field of speech. So typically we'll start with the kiddos have their own cooking bin. I kind of created that. So their bin might include an apron and a chef hat, but also some tools like measuring cups, measuring spoons, plate, bowl,
Oh,
silverware, all those things. And for example, a couple weeks ago, we made toast and scrambled eggs. So learning how to use a pan and, a toaster. And then they usually are provided with the visual recipe, and they learn how to communicate, their wants and needs. Yes, I want butter. No, I don't on my toast. There's so many different varieties of choices you can do with breakfast, let alone any food. But
right.
and then there's the social aspect as well. So talking about it, how does it taste? How does it, feel? And just having them in a group setting as well and talking with their friends and seeing their friends try some different things that they might not normally be willing to try otherwise. So, and then at the very end, cleaning up. So,
Of course.
which surprisingly is usually fun. A lot of the kids are like, "Oh, I've never, done dishes before," and we're
Oh.
cleaned up. And so that's another, part of that, that life skill, picking up after themselves and cleaning and putting everything away. So.
And during these classes, I feel like I need to be going to one of these classes. It's such a good, it's such a good incentive with food. Let's be honest. Everyone will do something for food. We do all
Oh,
love
yeah.
that.
Right.
But I love how they're able to be independent, but still feel like there's some help there.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's kind of the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the kids I cook with, they, like I said, they range in severity. But, some of the kiddos that have grown to be able to do those things, I try to cook with them all throughout elementary, but by the time they get to middle school, they might not require it in such an in-depth setting, but hopefully they take those skills and continue that, in middle school and high school, and then are able to do it at home too. Sometimes I have parents that'll send me pictures. Hey, we made noodles this afternoon. I wanted to share a picture with you.
Oh,
So that is great as well.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. And how often does this class happen?
So usually it can be, well, I guess it varies based on the setting, but we supply our grants based on how often. So
Okay.
we do have some people that'll cook weekly. I cook every other Friday, so it's
Okay.
something that the kids look forward to. They know that those Fridays are when we're going to have our cooking classes, and some are once a month. So
Okay.
usually it's like weekly, every other week, or monthly, and then we have a formula where we provide the grant money based on that.
Okay.
And so that's really great as well. But we always make sure it's consistent. I think that's important for any child on the autism spectrum, but any child with a disability in general. Being consistent is important. So they love that.
And that grant covers all of your supplies that you would need, correct?
Yes. Now, if we are providing a grant that has just started, we may say, okay, they're just beginning. Let's give them an extra. I mean, just for example, $100 to maybe buy a toaster or some of those things. For me, I've been doing this for 5+ years, so I've already got my bins. I have, 2 griddles. I have a blender. I have toasters, that sort of thing.
Right.
And some might have access to that in their schools. So
Okay.
just depends. But yes.
Okay. Wow. Now, I'm speaking with Sarah Beth Rodrigues, the Vice Chair and Event Coordinator for Cooking Autism. We were just talking about grants and scholarships. I want to dive a little deeper into that. Let's start with grants. How exactly are they given out and who can apply for them?
Yeah, so that's a good question. We provide the grants and scholarships. Like I said, we started in the Rappahannock regional area. We've kind of grown. So we've supplied them in King George, Caroline, Fredericksburg, Stafford, Spotsy, and then we've kind of grown to the Northern Virginia. We have some in Prince William, all the way out in Orange, Louisa, Woodbridge, and Manassas. But now we are in other states. We've grown. When I've asked how they have heard of us, they just said word of mouth, which is amazing.
Wow.
But we have a recipient in Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and then down in Mississippi. You would think it would kind of border Virginia, but it doesn't. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then we supply the grants to anybody that is, providing those skills to children with disabilities, either in an educational setting. This past year, we provided grants to 2 churches. They wanted to start programs in their churches, which we thought was wonderful. And then we do have some private educational settings as well. So we've kind of grown in that mission as well. We just started in the school setting, but yeah, we have since grown up quite a bit. So.
And that's just word of mouth. That's very impressive.
Thank you.
And what about who can apply for those?
Yeah, so like I had said, any special education teachers. I'm a speech pathologist, so we do have some therapists that will apply.
Okay.
We have had some educational leaders in the church setting that have applied for those programs, and then paraprofessionals assist with the teachers in those settings. So I do have a couple of the teacher's aides that will help me cook.
Okay.
So kind of any of those for sure are able to apply.
And talking about scholarships now, so what's the difference between the grant and the scholarship? Who's awarded and how can they apply?
So a grant, they specifically have to have a certain amount of kiddos to cook with or provide life skills in a school setting,
okay,
or educational setting. Scholarships are for anybody that's looking to expand or grow in their educational field. So they might be looking to have a special education certification onto their teacher degree, or they might want to become a speech pathologist, and they're looking to do this eventually in the school setting. But we're looking to kind of grow that field because we know there is a shortage nationally. Okay. So.
And then how can they apply, or can anyone, you said, who is looking to go further with their education, those are the ones who can apply for that? Yes,
they can apply. And our grant and scholarship cycles, they open at the end of April, and we usually do that in April because April is Autism Awareness Month.
Okay.
And it closes out in June. So we give grant recipients and scholarship recipients 2 months to apply. And then in July, we get together as a board and make our decisions, and then we supply the funds August through September, and so that way, it just takes some time to get to some of the schools, especially some of the other states.
Mm-hmm.
And every school setting or church setting kind of starts their program differently. In our area now, a lot of our schools start in August, but in some other states or some other areas, they might still start after Labor Day. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that they have the funds based on when they start their schooling.
And I'm speaking with Sarah Beth Rodrigues, the Vice Chair and Event Coordinator with Cooking Autism. Now, what else besides the grants and the scholarships? I want to talk about some of the events that you all do. What upcoming events do you have that we need to know about?
Yeah, so our next event is actually on Saturday, April 13th, 2024. It is at Pratt Park in downtown Fredericksburg. We have our fourth annual race and festival towards autism awareness and acceptance.
Mm.
And this race this year we have four different races. We have a 10K, a 5K, a 1 mile, and then a quarter of a mile race.
Okay.
And this is for any age and ability. Pratt Park is a paved pathway, so we can have anybody that is in a wheelchair, any young kiddos. It kind of varies, and we hope to have anybody there to be able to come join. We also have a free family festival from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that includes lots of local opportunities. So we have the Disability Resource Center there. We do have some therapy there. We have lots of other vendors. So just lots of opportunities and great things there for everybody. It's a fun family event.
It sounds like such a great day.
Yes.
And where can people get more information about that, or where do they need to go to register for the race, sign up to be a part of it, or just come and spectate?
Yeah, so they can go to cookingautism.com. We do have a race tab. There are 5 tabs on the top of our website, and they can go all the way to that race tab and sign up there. And anyone that signs up gets a T-shirt and medal. And I love this year's medal and T-shirt. It's great. Of course, I say that every year, but yeah, it's super fun, like I said, and inclusive for everybody, which we're all about. We also have Ainsley's Angels joining us this year. They're another local nonprofit. So they will have athletic riders in wheelchairs and runners pushing them. So we're super excited to have them join us this year too. And just another way to kind of collaborate with other nonprofits and abilities in our area as well.
That's amazing. And so they do need to register before they come. How long does registration stay open?
Yeah, so registration stays up until the morning of.
Okay.
We encourage sign up 2 weeks prior because the price does increase.
Okay.
And then you're guaranteed a shirt 2 weeks prior to the date. So I would say by the end of March to sign up. But if you're not sure if you're able to make it, you are able to come the day of the race to sign up. And we would love to have anybody there available. So, yeah.
Awesome. Now, are there any volunteer opportunities during that race?
Yes, absolutely. So we do have a volunteer document that's also on our website under that race tab. And we're always looking for volunteers to help set up. We need people to help, pass out water for our festival, just all kinds of opportunities there. So, and that's just a fun, engaging day for everyone, and it ends by 1 p.m. So, if you have something to do in the afternoon, you still can do that.
That's awesome. Well, check out that tab, cookingautism.com. You said it's on the top there. Now,
yes.
Earlier we were talking about grants and scholarships and how the board actually votes on those and figures out who receives those. So let's talk about a little bit about the board. Who serves on that and how is it chosen?
Yeah, so like I said, it originally started from April and Morgan Birch. They have since stepped down, but now our current board consists of Jonathan Caravo, he's our chair.
Okay.
I am the vice chair and event coordinator. We have Wendy Christofferson, she's our treasurer. We have Andrea Wright, she is our secretary. We have Melanie and Jordan. They are a husband and wife. They live in Pennsylvania, so they have since started here and then moved up there. So we do have board members in other states.
Oh, wow.
That's great because they can kind of help us get the word out. And then Carrie George, Amy Allen, and those are our 8. Now, a lot of these board members are special education teachers.
Okay.
And then I am a speech pathologist, so a lot of us have our hands in the school setting or in a setting where we provide these skills already. There's only 3 of us that are not currently working with students or adults with disabilities. So, so that's really, really great. We are looking to add a 9th board member, and they could email us or email me at sarahbeth@cookingautism.org if they're interested. We're always kind of looking to expand, but we do have a ninth seat right now that's been open for a year. So if anybody is looking to, help us make decisions and, look for expanding events, we would love to have them and on board with us. So
That's awesome. And is there any specific qualifications you're looking for?
Yeah, so we definitely look to have a resume and references, but also just a letter of kind of why they would want to be involved with a nonprofit like ours, specifically knowing our mission of providing these life and cooking skills. Why would they want to grow and help educate the community? All of our board members are volunteer, 100% volunteer, so that's definitely something to note as well. We all work full time and we do this on the side, but it's from the passion of our hearts. So we always are looking to grow, but that's definitely a good thing to note. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what other programs and events does Cooking Autism participate in?
Yeah, so we do participate in other like local restaurant charity events and businesses within the community. Every Christmas, we are involved in the Christmas tree contest with other local nonprofits. That is actually at Pohanka Nissan, where Cooking Autism started. And it's roughly around 30 local nonprofits every year. And I find this event so great because it allows all of us to network with each other. And I've learned so much about all the other local nonprofits. It's always amazing to hear what everybody else is doing in the community and how they're willing to help each other, which is also wonderful. And then just volunteering and helping other nonprofit organizations. I had mentioned Ainsley's Angels. We've kind of partnered with them. They have a Spirit of Inclusion race every October where they try to get others involved similar to us, just about their organization as well, which is helping riders that can't physically run to feel a race, to feel the wind in their wings, and it's wonderful. So I'm glad that they're coming to our race as well. They've included that in their lineup this year. So so those are some of the other events and things and ways that we're involved in the community.
And you were just mentioning volunteer opportunities. I know we talked about for the race that you have coming up, but do you always have volunteer opportunities open for those who are interested?
Yes, so we do have other volunteer opportunities. We are looking to hopefully expand to have community-based cooking classes as well. So we do provide those grants in specific settings, but we are always looking to try to expand to host community classes. That would be great to have downtown or other places like that, and that would be great because we always are asked that. We just don't have the volunteer base currently, and I would say consistently. I think that's probably the most important. So, so that is definitely something. If they're interested in, they feel free to email me at sarahbeth@cookingautism.org, and we can try to get something set up there because that is definitely something that's been asked for before.
And this community just loves to get involved. I've noticed it since I moved here a couple years ago. Very giving community, very much wants to step up to the plate and help out. So I think we can help with that mission. And I do think having community, cooking classes is such a great idea.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get that going. We have had that in the past. We had that set up prior to COVID. But then we kind of had to shut that down. We did have virtual classes where we had people kind of join us, and that was really fun. So we're, either way, we're looking to kind of get that back involved in the community. I think having it at a spot downtown would be wonderful because it's kind of centralized for everybody. But but yeah, that is kind of another area, another branch that we're looking to go towards in our mission here. So yeah.
Well, I'm speaking with Sarah Beth Rodrigues, the Vice Chair and Event Coordinator. I have learned a lot about Cooking Autism today. Thank you so much for the work that you do with the kids as well. I just think it's such a unique and different nonprofit that I hadn't heard of before, but serves a wide range in the community. And I just want to know, is there anything else you want to share with our community?
I just would like to thank our entire community for, assisting us throughout these. I guess we're going on 6 years now, and our main thing is we're born out of a desire to not just see like one child or one
Right.
school or one community. We have a bigger vision to just kind of assist anybody that has a neurological disorder, and hopefully those life skills can be used, to make this world better, and assisting each other, I think, is the biggest thing, and kind of that's what we're all about. So.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Sarah. Now, remember, go to cookingautism.com for all the information you may need, volunteer opportunities, the race coming up, how to get involved. And Sarah, I look forward to talking with you in the future and looking forward to maybe a community cooking class one day.
Yes, thank you so much for your time.
And that'll do it for In the Community this week. If you are a nonprofit and need to bring attention to your cause or organization, please reach out through this station's website, and we will see you next week.